Most people find it hard to believe that for many years of my adult life, I was severely limited by a chronic illness. I mean, it was so bad that at one point I was in a wheelchair. I could hardly feed myself or brush my own teeth. And at that time, I did a lot of things that got me so much better over a period of a couple of years that people wrote me from all over the world and emailed me asking me, what did you do to get better? Because as you know, so many people are drastically affected by a chronic illness. And so at the time, I wrote a book, and it is available on Amazon.com. If you search for it, Break Free by Mary Henderson, you'll find it. And in it, I put everything I could think of to help someone with a chronic illness to get better. And I wrote it as a workbook so that wherever they were in their journey, they could make a plan to find improvement. But today I want to just tell you 5 principles that I followed that and continue to follow, not only with my health, but with many, many other areas where you feel stuck and can't make improvement. And so one of the first areas you need to think about with your when you're stuck is that you need to decide to be determined. What do I mean by that? Well, when you're stuck in an area like an illness, a health problem, you get really worn down and you may try many things, so you get hopeless and you feel like there's no answer. At that point, you have to make a decision. I am going to find some things. I'm going to research. Proverbs 24:10 says, if you're slack in the day of distress, your strength will be limited. That's true. We can't be slack in our day of distress. But how? How do we get determined when we are broken down and feeling hopeless? Well, that's my second principle, and that is to get help. Ask people that are close to you to help you research and find avenues that could help you find improvement. Friends, family, your church. You can go online and just research in your particular area. For me, it was fibromyalgia, so I started researching what had helped people with fibromyalgia. And I limited it to just the things that it seemed the most people were mentioning over and over again. So my next principle is get help. My next principle is to get rid of what is toxic in your life and add what is healthy. So, of course, with any chronic illness, this means getting rid of toxic foods, toxic substances, things that are obviously holding you down physically, and adding things that are healthy, adding the vegetables, the fruits, getting rid of the junk food, and instead of having the junk food, have the healthy options that are out there. And also, this can mean things like getting rid of toxic material you're looking at or toxic media, getting rid or limiting toxic relationships. These things have a great influence on our health, but also on other areas where we're feeling stuck. So that's the third principle. The fourth principle is try new things. You know, there's that quote that says the definition of stupidity is, or idiocy, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And that's what we do in our health. We keep thinking, this is supposed to work. Eating healthy is supposed to work. And so we eat as healthy as we can, and we're still not finding the improvement we want. Well, maybe we need to go to an integrative physician, a doctor who uses alternative methods, and find other things that are helping people. It may be something we aren't even aware of, like our some allergies, or we may need to add different kinds of therapy, like a massage therapist or acupuncture. So be open to trying new things. Don't just stay in the same rut of doing the same thing over and over and doing it more and doing it harder, even though it's not producing results. And then finally, I will say my fifth principle is draw on God's power and resources. You know, one of the best places that helped me was reading the Bible for its principles on living a healthy, whole life. And a big part of any stuck situation, and definitely an illness, is our spiritual life. If our spiritual life is sagging or unhealthy, that's going to hold us down physically. So look in the Bible, talk to God, talk to God's people about how you can be helped to access God's power and resources in your area of difficulty. So I'm going to put a link with this video about my book, and also about a blog article I wrote a while back about getting unstuck. I pray all the best for you in your journey to find improvement in your chronic illness or in whatever area you are stuck in.